Okay, sorry. I ran out of room on my phone because I'm making emergency videos at the final hour. But anyways, so yeah, it doesn't say that no one can know. So the way that, and I'm trying to understand because I'm a human, and I think I can empathize with this obsession with this thing, um, that no one knows the day of the hour. It's like you don't want to be disrespectful. If they asked and they said, "When is it going to happen?" and he says, "Well, no one knows," and you just keep at going after him and being like, "Yeah, but what day? When is it? When is it?" That's not what this is. That was 2,000 years ago. It was none of their freaking business. It's very much our business. It's our business to know. And you know what? If you want to be surprised, he's not going to tell you. If you're ready, if you don't want to be, if you want to be, if you need it to be anonymous so that you can stay on track, he's not going to tell you. But there's the body is big, and there's some people that have childlike faith. There's some people that he just, in the event that he wants to reveal the date, he's going to use somebody. He's going to use somebody. He's going to use somebody to warn you, to tell you, because that is his nature. He did it with Noah, and he destroyed the entire earth. And he warned Noah before he destroyed the entire earth. Like, this is like what the Bible says, that the suffering and the calamity that comes on the earth after this is like unparalleled. It's like it has never been seen, never before or since, or it will ever happen again. Do you not think he's going to give us some type of heads up? Why do you think that God would not give us a heads up? Like, I don't, like, we need to get past that first before we go to the nature of the heads up. Like, I need you to answer me why you think God is not going to give us a heads up. Why do you think that is what Jesus meant when he said what he said? Even in the freaking parable of the 10 virgins, they somebody yells out, "Hey, the bridegroom is coming." And that's when they say, "Hey, we might not have enough oil. Give me some of yours." And that's when they can't come up with a game plan. It's not like if everyone falls asleep and then they all rush around and none of them have oil and they all rush around in the dark. And then the five that get there first are the winners. That's not what happens. They have a warning and they say, "Listen, give us some of your oil so that we can whatever." And there's not enough being said about these wise virgins telling these the other ones no. They were like, "No, we're not doing that." It's like, what's Christ? That's not Christian. You should be sharing. They were like, "No, it's not gonna be enough for us and you." So anyway, but that's just some random thing. So that doesn't mean that he's not gonna give you a heads up. Um, and I guarantee you, and you're thinking, "Oh, things are going to get catastrophic. You're going to know, oh, this is going to." I mean, this is just the pre-trip people. We're not talking about the post-trip people who think that God is going to zap everybody up after everything's in shambles. Like, all right, come on, guys, it's time to zap you all up. It's like, couldn't you just wait till we all died, since it's all like we could all be dying naturally by like, why would he anyway? Whatever. Or they think that the second coming and the rapture are synonymous. I don't know. But anyways, I mean, let me not make fun of them, because it's like literally the only reason why I have any clarity on it is because of listening to dreams and visions over the last like 10 years, um, describing literally the course of events. So, anyways, but yeah, just the pre-trip people. Uh, it's like you've already gone so far to believe that we're going to get raptured out here, like that's already considered the fringe in this uh, particular aspect of eschatology. But it's like, oh, but he's not gonna like let us know. Like he's gonna come get us, but it's just gonna we're nobody's gonna know. Like it's like, okay, now you've gotta now it's like this is when it's back to the dad analogy. It's like dad's gonna get us ice cream. It's like, no, he's not. Okay, well, what about net dad's nature makes you think that? And I don't even want to equate a pre-trib rapture like a ice cream treat, because that's not even what it is. That's part of the reason why people misunderstand it, because they think the rebuttal is like, God's not gonna pull you out, you're not gonna have to not go through anything. This thing of like, no, we're gonna have to go through it, which, to be honest, I had that thought for a long time, because I just felt like we're the end times church. We're lazy. We sit around and we play Xbox, and we're gonna get a rude awakening. God's gonna wake us up. We're gonna emerge stronger, because we're gonna get sober. We're gonna be sober minded. We're gonna stuff is gonna get blown up. We're gonna lose our possessions, and we're gonna. But it's like, listen, um, that is a plan. That is a plan, but the pre-trib rapture plan is way more, um it's way more of God's. The post-trib rapture is too much like a movie that man has made. The pre-trib rapture is so God. It's because it's mind-blowing. It is simultaneously doing so many more things. That is God. When God does 5 things with one event, that is God. Just this whole thing ending on the way that it should end, in a linear whatever. That's not. It's just not what it is. It's like, it's fine that you think that is, but when you get some new information, you ought to be like, oh, you ought to be able to get like, that's what it is. And so much of God is like that. You're trying to piece together a puzzle, and sometimes he'll have to give you a hint, because you're just not going to be able to see it in your human mind. And he has to be like, um, it's like, he'll have to be like, it's upside down or whatever. And you're like, oh my gosh. Like, if you're not doing that when God reveals the plan, then it's not. If you're going, that's very sensible. Yes, I can see that. I will let everyone know. Or you're just like, that's not God. Um, so, anyways, I would go into the whole pre-trib argument, but that's not what this video is about, so I'm not going to do that. All I'm saying is, how should we treat believers? You got believers saying that they went to heaven. You got believers saying that they, felt, uh, cancer leave their body, and all of these things that we consider extreme, problematic, whatever, just things about the supernatural that we don't like to deal with, that most of us don't like to deal with. Okay. Or let's not treat it as something that's like personal to them, something that requires your participation. So back to the rapture thing. So someone is saying that the rapture is tomorrow. Okay. I literally heard somebody say people are, because they said that the rapture is next week or whatever date it is, people are trying to like sell their houses. Okay. Those people need to repent. Like, why would you even sit there and try to feel responsible for that? Or feel like, oh no, this crazy rapture person is causing people to. It's like, did Paul already said, if you don't work, you don't eat. The people that were trying to say that, and that's what's great about that letter is that even Paul does the same thing that God does. Because he didn't say, listen, stop with these stupid rumors. It's embarrassing. He was like, listen, um, y'all, you need to work up until the day. Like, that's just ridiculous. He didn't, he wasn't attacking their belief in it. He was attacking their response to it. And um and you are not Paul. You're not in jail. You're not trying to lead new baby believers to the whatever. There's so many resources out there, not to mention God himself. If you're selling your house, what are you doing exactly? Like that doesn't even make sense to me. Like, did you make that up? Is that a joke? Why are you selling your house? So you get the money to do what? That doesn't even coincide with the rapture. The rapture is leaving. How, like, so you believe that God is coming, so you sell your house? You're an idiot. Why do I need to feel embarrassed because you're doing that? That's your response, is to get like fiat currency? Like, the dollar is trash. What are you doing? What are you trying to sell a house in this market? It's ridiculous. First of all, that doesn't make any sense. Are you going to keep the money and take it up there? Like, it doesn't make sense. That's not my problem. That has nothing to do with the information. In fact, if you ask me, you needed to hear that so that you could make weird decisions. It's like a lot of this might be like a sifting situation where God's like, which is the nature of anything that God tells you, because I don't know where I heard this from or whatever, but the idea that the devil is after information, or that information is the most valuable thing that there is. So it becomes very obvious when God tells you anything, because it's like a test. When God tells you something that he's privy to that you don't know, that's like on this level where it's like has to do with this world, you instantly go through this test in your heart. Number one, if you to believe it. Number two, to receive it and not freak out and not do something. It reveals the heart. It reveals the heart. So if you hear the rapture date and the last thing you do is go sleep with somebody, that is a heart reveal. Congratulations. You went through a process. Like, I'm not gonna condemn the person that said the date because it's causing all the Christians to stumble. It's like, what? That was in them. How can you take how are you going to make somebody take responsibility for that? Like, and as far as I'm concerned, it's like, yeah, more of this. Let's keep doing this, because I need to know. I need to know who is, because there's plenty of non-Christians that would hear this information that would turn their life around. You over here trying to get your lottery numbers, which makes 0 sense. You're trying to sell your house. I mean, even if you say, okay, I'm going to sell my house because I'm not going to be here, it doesn't matter. So what are you selling it? It still doesn't make any sense. Who's benefiting? How? Where? So, yeah, we need more of these types of things, because it's like, yeah, I want to see what y'all are going to do. I would love to see what y'all do. And then, just bombarding a person with, did you hear? Did you hear? What do you think about it? What do you think about it? It's like, if you don't get in your prayer closet, are you a Christian? Go ask God. He's got infinite resources. We don't have time to read 1,000 emails in a day. God can hear your prayer right now. Why are you reaching out to other men for this? So again, I still don't see how this should be laid at the feet of the person who's saying the thing. They could be completely off, but we still haven't even gotten to how that even matters. We're still on, like, it's just instantly people, it's like the implications go on the person who started the tidal wave of stuff. And yeah, it could be a wackadoo person, but it could be God doing that tidal wave. And honestly, either way, it's God. Either way, it's God because He's allowing it to happen. And He's probably trying to see what you would do. Either way, it's not, you're not going to die. It's not going to kill you. It's not like you had cool points to begin with. You're a Christian. Nobody thinks you're cool. So, yeah, I just think that we need to just let Christians walk in their gifts. And if they're completely wackadoo, then and we all have the Spirit of God, then you shouldn't be led down a rabbit hole by anybody. That person should just die on the vine. And if that person happens to gather a following, it's like, oh, have you never seen a heretical pastor um, reach tons and tons of people with itching ears? It's so rare. Like, why aren't you tripping off of all of these other people who have made their millions? Like, I hear like people rebuking them, but the intense shutdown energy that comes when a believer just out of nowhere has the boldness that comes um, with hearing God maybe for the first time ever and feeling like they need to tell everybody. Like, in the event that that's genuine, you need to just not want to shut them down instantly. Like, first of all, where did they come from? It's like, what? Like, you sound like the Egyptians, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Where did they come from? Who are you? Like, we're all Christians. Why do they need, who's really great at networking and getting in there and being the guy that knows that guy and, oh, I know him, he's great. Narcissists, psychopaths. So let's not rely on all that. Oh, I know him from such and such. Oh yeah, his mom and dad. And it's just vampires everywhere. So that's not nothing to go on. You need to go on. What is the Spirit saying? You need to listen with an open heart, an open mind. Pay attention to what the Spirit is telling you. If the Spirit is telling you no, 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 you don't have to tell that person anything. Because we should all be relying on the Spirit of God. And either you're going to learn a lesson after that and be like, next time I need to whatever, or you're going to your pride's going to get to you and be like, how did that happen to me? And you're just going to fall away. But do you have to listen to that? No, you don't. Do you have to participate? No, you don't. But there's a group of believers out there that are going to have their ears to the ground. It's like when you go to a concert of a big major act and the line is people been out there camping for days. You might not be that big of a whatever. You when the tickets went on sale, you were right there clicking the button, but you weren't out there in front of the pre-sale camping out. Okay, somebody is. Somebody is number one at the window. It has to be. It doesn't just start in the middle with you and all the people that are normal like you. Someone is camping out, and that person is going to be the first to get the information. They're going to be the first to go in and sit down. Number one on the sheet is really, really, really dedicated. Number one in line is really, really, really dedicated. So there are some believers there's somebody that's got their ear to the ground. That's just the nature of literally everything that's normal that you don't question at all. And if he wants to tell them the date and have it be a telephone chain, and you're just in the middle, you're just number 6,741 in line, you're going, that's probably not true. It's like, you don't even care. They care. And God, I mean, I don't know if you notice this about God, but like literally, if you ask him anything, especially if it has to do with him, he's just going to freaking tell you. Especially if he sees that you're seeking him and that you're interested. Like it's so hard for him to get people who are just interested in what he's about. I don't know if you've noticed that. Like that is so rare and great. He just gives you the information. Like the fact that you don't know that means that you just never experienced that. You've never experienced that. You just haven't been eager enough about anything to experience that. He will literally give away. If God was a person, he would be that friend. You would be at his house in the rich, huge mansion, and he'd just be giving away everything to you. Do you want this? 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 I don't even use it. I forgot I had it. Like, there's people like that. Like, God is like that. Even if you're like, God, when's the date? When's the day? He's going to be like, I can't tell you. I can't tell you. I can't tell you. I can't tell you. Finally, he'll be like, all right, I'll give you a hint or whatever. Like, that's his nature. Even if he was supposed to be tight-lipped about it, which he isn't. There's literally zero verses you can point me to that indicates that he is tight-lipped about it, and it is literally like fire drill, no notice whatsoever. Like that, it doesn't even make sense. How would anything get executed like that? What are you talking about? Eventually, we're going to come. We keep saying the last days, the last days, the last days. One day it's going to be the last day. The last day. What do you think? What are we going to be doing? What's going to be happening? It's just, we got to get from point A to point B somehow, guys. You got to have a baby somehow. So, I just don't, it's just regular human stuff. The majority of people, it's going to be fine. They're going to be in it and they're going to be like, oh, this is it. Whoa. And all this is going to be like moot. But it's really annoying to watch people mumble and grumble during the process. I'll tell you what. I mean, it's part of the reason why I just can't even participate in the world because it's just so obnoxious. And there's just so many different personalities all the time. Just ridiculous. I mean, have you seen people outside of concerts? That's why most people stay home, because of other people. Anyway, all I know is, and then listen, if the day comes and goes, here's the last thing I'm going to say about it. Because what I do, because yeah, I could go, if I hear it, the date, and somebody's like, it's this day and this time. Have I gone to God and been like, is that really true? No, I have not. No, I have not. Because part of the reason is like, I don't know, part of it's just like, I kind of don't care like that. It's like this. I will listen to it and I will believe it, but I know that I am responsible for the information. I still know that. I'm responsible for what I take in and what I believe. it's not like I'm just blindly listening to this person. I am then using my own brain, my own experiences, my own Bible reading. The Spirit is speaking to me in a certain way that's causing me to go, yes, I'm going to align myself with this information. So I don't need an outward sign, or I don't need God to literally tell me it, because it's like when you, I don't know, I don't even know enough about betting or loans or any type of whatever, but it's just like I'm not necessarily keeping my expectations low, but as the day comes and goes, I know that I just have to keep moving, because I have agreed to take the information on. It is my responsibility. If the day comes and goes, I'm just going to go, well, I'm not going to blame anybody. I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to blame God. I didn't do none of the steps. All I did was take the word of this person. So I don't get to have a cry fest about it. Now, if you don't feel like you can go through that, then literally just don't think about it and don't just discount it, or just go, the best that any Christian should ever be saying about anything is, we'll see. We'll see. It's not about you. It's not against you. So it's for you. Jesus literally didn't even stop people who were preaching in his name. He didn't even know these people. He didn't even know these people. And the disciples were like, dude, there's people out there just like preaching in your name. And he's like, don't, just like leave them alone. If they're not against you, they're for you. He's like, leave them alone. He doesn't like, honestly, guys, if a believer's like, the Lord told me, even if some believers coming out and he's mixing all their stuff, and he's just like, oh, the Lord is showing me your aura and it's blue or whatever. You just go, okay, well, praise the Lord or whatever. As long as they're not like making you take something physically, or yeah, certain people shouldn't be laying on hands on you and all that stuff. We're not even talking about that. We're just talking about you literally bullying other Bible believing believers who believe. Like, these are the last people that you need to be worried about. These are the last people you need to be worried about. So even if they, in their orthodoxy, they're going the only thing that you don't like about it is that it's in some woo woo supernatural place. It's still biblical, but you just don't have faith to believe stuff like that. Why isn't every single believer doing miracles? There's a reason for that. And it's not because God doesn't do them anymore. That is not the reason, okay? So you could we'll see. Well, praise the Lord. Well, God willing. Well, whatever. Whatever's a great answer. Like, just leave it at that. These people are not bothering you. They're not bothering you. You're worried about your reputation, the reputation of Christianity? Are you freaking serious, dude? Oh, this person's going to save the day, and then people are going to... No, dude. No. No, 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 no. Hone your ear. That's what you need to be worried about. Hone your ear to hear the Spirit of God. And by the time your ear is honed to the point where you can hear and just walk and have just like just ridiculous accuracy because you've honed the ear, and now you're out there Elijah style, like no one's gonna remember that time that you looked goofy and messed up. Like, we need to be able to grow in the gifts, and to do that you got to let people make mistakes and make errors and be zealous and do all this stuff. Like, I that means more to me than everybody being on the same page. Let people who are enthusiastic about the gifts grow in the gifts. People who are trying to get words from God grow in that. Could they just be just a crazy actor that just needs desperate attention? Yeah, they could. But you could use some honing too. You could use some uh, believing the best practice too. So everyone wins. I don't understand what this is about. Like, um, it's just ridiculous. Not wanting to associate, it's just so dumb. Like, I don't know much. I can't really say much more about it. I've already ranted enough. So I'm gonna listen to this back. You know what? I'm just gonna post it. I don't care. Good night, y'all, because it's late.